pisses me off. Oh, hello.
Oh, hey,
no, it doesn't piss me off at all, man.
Yeah.
I could never be mad at anybody. All busted.
We were talking about basketball. So
We were.
By the way, real quick, if you haven't seen, go online to the 956 Sports page and look at the RGD Basketball Coaches Association top.
Like Steve Alford.
Yes, there you go. Yes, pure form right there.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
But
He had to.
if you go online, the top teams in the Valley for districts are on there, and you can get all your basketball fix. By the way, he has a book coming out for basketball.
Hardwood Heroes Volume 1, but I got to admit, man, I'm not ready for basketball yet.
Yeah.
This year, I've got to do some more football and stuff. I'm ready for soccer, whatever.
Well, I don't think the coaches are either. If you look at the stats or the top 10, Westlaco somehow in the district poll is number 1, and Los Fresnos is 2, and then in the top 10 poll, Westlaco is number 4, and Los Fresnos is 3.
That's called creative math, man. We're just trying to keep you honest, dude.
That's what happened when you put PE majors.
No, mommy, sir.
So
all right,
that's for all my
terrible.
coaching friends.
As Charles Barkley would say, Charlie Barley.
Terrible.
That's terrible, man.
All right, and we are.
As Bill Walton would say, it's horrible.
Charlie Brenner wants to know: is Pioneer going to be in the top 10?
Right off the bat.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, you would think. Of course, here's what the thing is: who lost in the top 10 that goes out?
Yeah.
You're not going. See, I'm not a big fan of jumping teams way ahead of teams that won, because if you do that, then you're like the BCS, where you take into account how many bowel movements. You know what I'm saying? So if a team doesn't get beat, then how do you
shift them in? How do you shift them in? Yeah.
Because who did Pioneer beat? Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, they're going to be in there.
Yeah. Yeah. And now
that was badass, man. I couldn't believe it. It's not like I couldn't believe it, but I just couldn't believe the whole game itself. I wish I'd seen it.
Yeah, I was there for that one. That was,
you were?
Yeah, it was a great game.
They dominated them?
It was close, 14-14 at the half, and then this one guy got popped in the face on the sideline with the ball. It was awesome.
Without a helmet?
Yeah. No, he's a media guy. You know.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I'll show you the video later. If you haven't seen it, go on to our,
I did not know that.
Yeah, he was holding his phone, just got smacked in the face.
I can't believe it.
But I was at that game, incredible atmosphere. Probably, and I talked to Coach Thompson the next day when I went to cover volleyball there. Both teams played again.
My camera flash always goes off. I can't go there anymore. I don't know how to work it.
But it was incredible because the atmosphere was electric. You don't see that in the Upper Valley more than it felt like the Mid Valley. I was at an Ed Cal
bunch
game,
of crazies.
I was at a Mercedes game. It felt like
Pack of Wild Dogs.
Yeah.
Wow, I can't believe it. That's amazing. I wish I'd.
They were drinking tea at the shirt.
Yeah, I go down and get me some yogurt from the concession stand.
Yeah, but
well. All right, now all that hype we already spilled. Well, I want to start with Rio and Vets, man, because that's the game of the week.
Yes.
Remember we were talking about Roma needs this to happen? Didn't happen.
No.
Because Nixon goes and turns into a pumpkin. Rio beats him 14-13. That's quite a swing from 71 points one week to only 13 the next. Mm-hmm. How was Rio able to do it? I guess they did control the ball, huh?
Yeah, here's my thing. I didn't think they had the size at linebacker that they had the year before. The year before. But they had some guys that could just pop you. Mm-hmm. This team, I saw them play against Martin, and Martin's quarterback was running through them, and I was like, okay, maybe this team, it's just not their year. Coach Garcia did something, I don't know, he magic dust or something like that, and they just all
pixie dust. Yeah. Wow, Lee, that's quite a result. In fact, I waited on that one. I just wasn't sure. 49-7. But I have to hand it to the Rattlers, man. That was huge. That pretty much solidifies them, I believe, at 4-2. Because even if you finish 4-4, you got the tiebreaker where the other two teams could be 4-4. One will be Vets, and one will be Roma. Now, veterans, look, I didn't recognize this last week. Diego had guys with 500-plus yards in the game. Remember this guy, Shea Patterson?
Oh, yeah.
He's playing college ball, isn't he, right now?
Yeah, I believe he was the number one quarterback in the nation.
Other than that, yeah, not so good. Javi Obregon, one of the Obregon clan row. A.J. Garza, remember that stick figure from La Villa? He was a great player, great basketball player, too. And then, of course, the guy that's coaching at Mission, 522 yards against Miller.
Yeah.
6 guys with 400-plus multiple times, 3 for Coy, 3 for Lupe Rodriguez. AJ had 3. Johnny Esparza. Remember that guy from Lyford? He could play, man. He was tough. And then Diego now has 2 games of over 400. And a guy that a lot of people may not know unless you're from Mission, Andy Legarson. He was one of the first. He was before Corey, before those guys, man. He was a great Mission quarterback, 84, 5, 6, something like that. So Diego enters the record books, unfortunately in a loss. Isn't that weird, though?
Mm-hmm.
That's the nature of the spread today in the game. You can have an amazing game with 7 touchdowns and your team gets killed.
Yeah.
Weird stuff. Now, Betts takes on Rio, and what's going to happen?
Okay.
A lot of points? Or not?
No, because Rio still hasn't scored a lot of points.
No,
you
they're
know.
not, yeah.
So if it's under 14, under 17 points, you give the win to Rio. If that's if they play like last week. If they, you have to remember this is a team that scored 71 points or 71.
71,
And
they gave
they-
up 45.
Yeah, and then 13 points the next week.
Incredible. That's the results of the year. Now, I'm not going to say I think the Nixon was overrated because I don't think it is, but it really is a surprise to see Rio put the shellacking on them 14-13. Okay, so now we got a real race, man. You got 3 teams with 1 loss.
Yeah.
Pioneers won, Nixon won, and Sherryland won. Of course, that Sherryland loss is to Pioneer, and the schedule favors the Diamondbacks, and it doesn't favor the Rattlers. So if you're asking me if they're going to be in the top 10, can they win the district? Affirmative to both.
Yeah. At 4-1, they play Valley View this week. They
what
they
they
played
got.
Rio the last week.
Yeah.
Or Roma, right? Roma. Pioneer.
Yeah.
Pioneer plays Roma.
Look, they got Valley View, Martin, and Roma.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what, they could be 7-1 just like that.
Yeah.
All right? Because if you don't believe that Roma has what it's had the last couple of years, if you're a Pioneer and you made that statement win against Sherryland, you ain't letting Valley View and Martin touch you. You're blowing them away. Poof, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they could end up being in the top 5 where it's all over,
Yeah.
man. You got to believe in that team. And I was not ready to say it until they beat Sherryland. And so now that they did it in the fashion in which they did, you got to give it up, man.
Yeah, if you're that team, you beat the 2 teams that you kind of had to beat.
That's right.
You know, and they don't like Sherryland being called Big Brother.
Betts and
It's like,
Sherryland,
they're
man.
little sisters. No, but Pioneer. I was there. I got to see Jessica Oviedo.
Oh, yeah. Track
props to
man.
those guys.
Yeah.
They left Edinburgh, went over there, and they created something. And it's nice. Them, Coach Wheeler and Bocanegra, and all these guys that came over there. They've created something nice over there.
So it's not going to be 6-0 to 6-4. Pioneer is for real. Year 3, they follow, and Vela was 10-2.
Mm-hmm.
It's third year, right? Harlingen South won 9 games and went 3 deep. So, I wrote that. I can't remember what week it was, 2 or 3 weeks ago, about the history of teams coming out and making the playoffs as young teams. What do you call it? When someone is new. Exhibition, no. Franchise, no. Expansion.
Expansion
team. Good Lord, like the Dolphins took him 4 years. All right, so Pioneer, horrible. I have the teacher here, right? Pioneer's looking really good now. Sherryland comes off of that loss to its rival, and all it's got to do is go out and play a Mad Nixon team
On Saturday. So now you got to keep your kids focused on Friday night, and which is sometimes harder to do.
Yeah, of course, sure.
But and then you got to go travel to Nixon. It's a night game, so it's not like you're gonna have a nooner. You're going right at 7:00.
Who does Vets play? I would take them to Vets in Rio. Mm-hmm. That's where they play next. Don't be surprised if that's where those kids are Friday. Although I don't know, man. Then you have to get up early and go.
Yeah.
Let's just see how both of those teams respond to losing, right? Because I still believe in Sherryland to have a very fine team, and obviously Nixon's been the cream of the crop so far. So now, as we here's the question: as we get closer to Halloween, which one of these teams is going to turn into a pumpkin? Mm-hmm. And I do not know the answer to that. Martin and Figueroa. You'd like to see Figueroa beat Martin if you're a Valley team, because that put them at 4 losses, and they'll pretty much let them out.
2-4, yeah.
Because, like you say, man, Martin has had its share of moments this year. They're not a pushover. Didn't they beat Rio?
Yeah, they beat Rio.
All right. Now Roma's off and at 2-4, and I'm sitting there trying to do the math, and I just don't know if I see it, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be difficult because especially when they're playing Pioneer in the last game of the year.
You know why they probably won't make it? Because they're one of those teams that ended up with too many games played already.
Yeah.
So they got 3 games to make up, but they ain't got but 2 to play.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, if one of those teams loses out that we're talking about, I think they had the tiebreaker with one of the teams. But bottom line is, it's not the best year in Roma. I don't they're disappointed. They really are. All right. Now, but let's talk about 32-5A, where all of a sudden we were crying about Mercedes at 0-3. They can't do this. They can't do that.
Give the ball to Zach Gomez.
I think 15 out of 20, man.
Yeah.
Ran for 80-something. No, he's ready to play. Mercedes is ready to play. And it looks like they have the odds-on favorite to win the district. going back to that win against Brownsville Vets. But they really took care of Edcouch. So were you surprised that they handled the Jackets?
What I was surprised with was the turnovers by Edcouch also. You think it'd be more cleaner of a game, but that's defense creating opportunities also. So I'm impressed though because the way they're running, I got to see the film on that.
Yeah.
The way they're running that impressive.
Well, and we said early in the season that Mercedes wasn't averaging but like 50 or 60 yards on the ground. They played a tough schedule. Would they be able to get it together and be more multiple? And this they have done, which is why they're 4-0. Now, look at Mercedes' schedule coming up. Where's that? Lopez, Porter, and down the north.
Yeah.
So what are we saying here? They play at Lopez this week against the Lopez team that's kind of like Sharyland now. It's kind of like fill in the blank team, Nixon,
Yep.
teams that took a loss, and now how will they respond? I would say that Sharyland's probably more likely to respond with a good effort because they've been there.
Yeah.
Lopez stands the possibility of falling off that stoop because they've never been there. They don't know how to get hit.
Yeah.
Let's see how they can respond. This is a huge week of practice for the Lobos because they don't want to waste a great season right now and get beat again. But against Mercedes, man, I don't care if you're playing home or not. That team's on a roll. You better be ready. You better strap it on and get ready to hold on, man, because
Yeah.
Mercedes looks good.
Yeah, and the thing with Lopez is they get this upset win right here. You're talking about jumping up incrementally in those slots. And Mercedes and Edcouch also are your big schools in that district.
Yeah.
But you're talking about positioning yourself at least just better. You don't want to be in that fourth spot because fourth, you're going to play Pioneer. You're going to play.
He's district champ. You're going to play a champ. I'll tell you what, if Lopez beats Mercedes like this, then we got our coach of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Because Mercedes is coming, man. They really are rolling. So I'm very interested to see how Lopez handles the pressure and the adversity of having taken a loss and having to come back and play the game. All right? Because, it happens to everybody. They didn't let Brownsville Vets run all over them, but Gustavo the Great had another long 37-yard highlight touchdown run. Every game he's going to make one run where he breaks a bunch of tackles and leaves people going, what the hell? How did he do that stuff?
Yeah.
21-7. Now, so Edcouch loses to Mercedes. Marco Aguinaga ran well at 121. But for the second week in a row, could not get the passing game going. I'm beginning to think that the offensive line for the Jackets probably is capable of better play. I'm going to be diplomatic. I'm not trying to be ugly. I love the shoot. For years. But, if you can't throw the ball, then what does that say? Because they got great receivers, man.
And earlier in the season, it was a lot of rollouts where he would roll away from the pressure.
Like Vets.
Yeah. And it was almost like street ball. The wide receiver would break off his pattern, come
He's
back.
He's good at that. They're all good at that.
And it almost looks like 7-on-7. Now, when you're playing a team like Mercedes, who's very familiar with that,
and fast,
and when their corners can keep up, you have a safety over the top. It's a little bit harder to do.
What did we say last week, man? When you play teams that have speed, that spread don't work so good. In other words, you can't improv as well if you're not faster than the other team. So let's see what they come up with. And they're playing a pace team this week that won last week. They beat down the North. Aguilar, another 280. That guy's good. Randy Aguilar is a good player. And I told you about Gabriel Zapata. He had another great game against down the North. But so did Brandon Zapata. They got two Zapatas. They got no Pancho Villas. We need a Zapata Villa and an Obregon for Rome. We got the Mexican Revolution all over again. I'm going to tell you what, man. Pace beat Edcouch last year. Yeah. And Edcouch remembers that. But right now they're coming in wounded and licking their wounds, man. Edcouch is kind of like, whoa. It's like, when you get popped a few times, you're like, is the round over yet? Pace believes again.
And this is weird because both teams are 2-2. I mean,
what's the difference? Yeah. Exactly. We thought Pace was here and Edcouch was here, and all of a sudden here we are, the 3 weeks before the season's over, and Edcouch must win this game.
Yeah. So this is a must-have. I mean,
didn't they do it last year?
Yeah.
Of course, it was after the Pace game, but never underestimate a pissed-off, wounded Jacket. They're going to get it together against somebody, and if it's Pace, they could be 50-7. I promise you. But the way Pace played against Down in North, man, they came back and won that game. And I'm telling you, they're not a one station-to-station offense anymore. That quarterback has energized the group, man. They've got some athletes over there.
Yeah.
I don't know about their team speed on defense. I've not seen the team for that long to be able to judge it. But if Marco can improv and they can run that stuff, it could be a long night for Pace.
Yeah. And here's the thing I like about this game. Okay. Edcouch also is... I spoke to somebody on the staff this week, and they thought they were going to win the game against Mercedes, and Mercedes, kind of took it to them. This is an Edcouch team that needs to find its identity now. It's like it seems like they lost amnesia or something like that. I mean, really, they need a game that Marco can actually start like tossing the ball around.
Because he's a great player.
Get his confidence back.
Sooner or later, he's going to break out, and somebody's going to be sorry. And if it's pace, then so be it. But I mean, that's 2 games in a row where that. Put it this way: let's not throw it on the kid. Let's just say this: for 2 games in a row, Ed Cass has not been multiple, diverse, and successful in doing the things that it needs to do on offense. If it completes that business, then they can still beat anybody, and especially here in this game. But you got to hand it to Pace, man. Gee whiz. Okay, Donna North. Donna got the win.
Yeah.
And they scored a lot of points, and I bet you they felt happy afterwards, like, all right, enough of this. Now they're coming in that rivalry game against Donna North, and that's going to be fun.
Yeah, and they're the road team in this game.
Matthew Rakovich.
Yeah, Rakovich.
Rakovich is a great name, almost like Tim Rosovich. Remember him? For the Eagles in the early 80s, he used to eat glass. He was a nut. A defensive end, number 82. And the Eagles were horrible. Pete Lisk was the quarterback. He was horrible. But neither of these teams is out of the race, but it's going to take 3 in a row.
Yeah.
And it starts today. Or not today, but when the game's played. Donna North. What do you think?
It's a toss-up. It really is. I actually, and Donna would probably kill me on this one. I actually give it to Donna North in this one if I was picking.
Well,
I will later.
If you're if you want to give it away. Oscar Salas, otra vez with an interception, man. That guy is turning into Lester Hayes over there for Donna North, man. Who? Remember Lester Hayes? With the stickum?
Yeah, pine tar. Hey, real quick on the on Facebook right now, and guys,
is that Facebook?
Yeah.
Is this Facebook?
Well,
I can't figure it out. I'm looking here, but
we're on Facebook with this,
and that's what we look like.
Yeah,
Let me see.
Yeah, you're the white one, right?
There I am. But how come I can't see my?
It's right there.
It's a delay.
We're a little bit delayed.
Now, like a karate movie.
Yeah, just in case we swear. Now, real quick, want to address this because it's on the. It's right now. Everybody's talking about it.
Well,
Sherrilyn Pioneer. Oh, sorry. They don't like we call that Pioneer.
Pioneer.
All right, Pioneer.
Not the Pioneers.
Some people from Rio are arguing right now. And I actually would like for you to kind of to drop a little knowledge. Pioneer says that their defense is on paper. Rio is better. Pioneer saying that their defense is better, and their defense has been playing really well in the second half.
They lost a big hitter. One of them went out.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Sanchez.
Yeah, 42.
Yeah.
Rio's defense played great last week. I mean, you hold a team that scores 71-13, that's pretty good. Their body of work on defense might stack up with that of Pioneer, might not. So I can see where you could argue for Rio based on what they did, based on the season's body of work and how it's progressed. I would probably say Pioneer's defense is equally as good as Rio and possibly better.
Yeah.
Is that hedging? Am I tap dancing? Yep. Pioneer is a good football team, man. I'm telling you what, I saw them in person when they whipped Vets, and now they did what they did against Sherryland, and period, new paragraph. And Rio pulled the upset of the year, and maybe they're out there saying it's not an upset.
Yeah.
I mean, who is Nixon? Rio said, we beat them fair and square. Don't give us this upset garbage. So,
yeah. And you look at this, Rio's 4-2.
Mm-hmm.
They're 1 game behind. Let's just wait and see how the season shakes up because, I mean, we've seen this before too. It doesn't matter if you finish 1, 2, 3, 4. It all matters about how you do in the playoffs. And we saw Ed Chelsea last year drop 2 late, and then they go
bing,
three rounds.
Deep. Yeah, so I think the both defenses, their defenses are comparable. And so, I've seen more Pioneer, but I'm not going to say without question I think it's better.
Yeah.
I just know that what Rio did was pretty damn good. I know they agree with me out in Nixon.
Yeah, and you have to remember, it doesn't really matter where you finish. It matters where you place yourself in that play hierarchy. Because if if you're big school, small school, you want to get that. You may want to position yourself to be the second small team.
Yeah, sometimes it works out that way. Ironically, well, next week when we get back, we're going to talk, and we're going down to sub 5. We're going to be talking a little bit more about who's doing what to whom in other regions. We're going to start looking at teams and standings in terms of big and small school because as we start getting near the frost on the pumpkin, of course it was 92 today. Yeah, some frost. It'll become more important, but I think both those teams have a shot to be right at the top of the district, man.
Yeah, and some schools are going fishing next week. You can pretty much start planning your vacation.
I hate that feeling. All right, we'll come back in a minute.